Toxic people are everywhere. Friends who drain your energy, coworkers who thrive on drama, or even family members who manipulate your emotions. You cannot control how they behave, but you can control how you respond. Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic emperor, faced betrayal, envy, and constant criticism, yet he remained calm, disciplined, and unshaken. Today, we'll uncover 11 Stoic-inspired strategies that will teach you how to rise above toxicity, protect your peace, and turn rejection, criticism, and negativity into fuel for your growth. Watch closely, because by the end, you'll never let a toxic person steal your inner power again. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "When you wake up in the morning, tell yourself, the people I deal with today will be meddling, ungrateful, arrogant, dishonest, jealous, and surly." He did not say this with bitterness, but with preparation. He knew the world is filled with difficult people, but also that our strength comes from how we respond. Let's begin with the first lesson. 1. Expect toxicity before it arrives. Marcus Aurelius began his mornings by reminding himself, "Today I shall meet with the busybody, the ungrateful, the arrogant, the deceitful, the envious, the unsocial." He knew that by preparing his mind for these encounters, he would not be caught off guard. This is the first Stoic lesson in dealing with toxic people: anticipation. If you walk through life expecting every person to act with kindness, you will constantly be disappointed. But if you remind yourself that human nature is flawed, that many people act out of ignorance, insecurity, or pain, then when you encounter toxic behavior, it no longer shocks you. The insult, the manipulation, the backstabbing, it becomes predictable and therefore powerless. By expecting toxicity, you create an emotional buffer. It's like a warrior sharpening his sword before the battle begins. The moment the first strike comes, you're already ready. Their cruelty doesn't pierce your heart because you had already armored your soul. That preparation is what makes a Stoic unshakable in the face of toxic people. 2. Control your first reaction. Toxic people feed on reactions. They want to pull you into their chaos, provoke your anger, and see you lose control. The Stoic understands that while you cannot stop the initial spark of emotion, you can master what comes next. Epictetus taught, "It is not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." The first flash of irritation, the surge of anger, that is instinct, but the pause after, that is choice. In that pause lies the Stoic's power. When someone insults you, you can immediately fire back, or you can breathe, hold your silence, and let the weight of their words fall flat. The toxic person loses their power when you refuse to be baited. This restraint is not weakness. It is the deepest form of strength. By mastering your response, you deny them control over your emotions and keep your inner fortress untouched. 3. Separate the person from their poison. A toxic person is not only what they do to you, they're the result of their own inner battles. Marcus Aurelius constantly reminded himself that people act out of ignorance or pain, not because of deliberate malice against him personally. When someone lies, manipulates, or spreads venom, it is tempting to internalize it, to believe it reflects something about you. But Stoicism demands a different lens. Their behavior does not reveal your weakness. It reveals their character. Their cruelty is not proof of your worthlessness. It is proof of their emptiness. The Stoic separates the individual from the poison they carry. You can acknowledge their humanity while refusing to drink their venom. You can pity their blindness without letting it blind you. This detachment gives you freedom. You no longer take things personally because you understand that their actions are a mirror of their own turmoil, not a judgment of you. 4. Set boundaries without guilt. Stoicism is not about passively enduring abuse. It is about living with virtue and protecting your inner world. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Part of that power includes setting boundaries that protect your peace. Boundaries are not cruelty. They are clarity. They draw the line between what you will tolerate and what you will not. When you refuse endless arguments, when you limit your exposure to manipulative people, when you cut ties with those who drain your spirit, you are not being cold. You are being disciplined. A Stoic man does not feel guilt for preserving his energy. He knows that enabling toxic behavior is not compassion. It is weakness disguised as virtue. By setting boundaries, you train others how to treat you, And if they refuse to respect those boundaries, then walking away becomes not abandonment, but an act of self-respect. 5. Choose response over revenge. Toxic people thrive when they can pull you into their cycle of retaliation. They insult you, you insult back. They gossip, you gossip back. They betray, you seek revenge. And so you become like them. Marcus Aurelius refused to fall into this trap. He said, "The best revenge is not to be like your enemy. When you respond instead of reacting, you cut off the cycle. You do not stoop to their level. You rise above it, to the toxic person. Nothing is more infuriating than your refusal to play their game. Your calm becomes their frustration. Your silence becomes their defeat. This is not passivity. It is strategy. By choosing response over revenge, you maintain your dignity and expose their smallness. You prove that your character cannot be corrupted by their poison. The Stoic man does not seek revenge. He seeks mastery over himself. And that mastery is the ultimate victory. 6. Use indifference as a shield. One of the sharpest weapons in Stoicism is indifference. Not cold hatred, not passive silence, but genuine indifference. Marcus Aurelius constantly reminded himself, if it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it. And if it is neither right nor true, why should you care when others do it? Toxic people crave energy. They want your anger, your explanations, your emotional investment. But when you show indifference, you starve them. You refuse to give them what they seek most. Control over your inner state. Indifference does not mean tolerating abuse. It means recognizing that their words, their judgments, and their manipulations are powerless unless you give them weight. When you learn to treat their noise as background static, you liberate yourself. You become like a mountain, untouched by the storm swirling around it. To the Stoic, indifference is not escape. It is armor. It is a shield that keeps the poison from entering your soul. Toxic people lose their power the moment you decide not to hand it to them. Marcus Aurelius lived among liars, manipulators, and flatterers, yet he remained unshaken because he anchored himself to principles, not people. The same applies to you. Protect your mind, guard your energy, walk away when needed, and carry yourself with the calm dignity of a man who refuses to be broken. In the end, the most powerful victory is not proving them wrong. It is proving to yourself that they cannot touch your soul.